Hi there, my name's Melissa and I'm a AI enthusiast. And today I wanted to share with you how you can update ChatGPT so that it writes more in line with your personal style than in the ChatGPT style. So with any ChatGPT session, you can always tell it your preferences for writing style, tone, or structure. But it will need you to prompt it again because it won't remember that for any future sessions. If you want it to be forever, and this is important for the automation example I'm going to show you shortly, then you're going to want to set that up permanently. So what you can do is you can go to settings, personalization, and memory. And what this will do is it will actually enable you to switch on the memory so that when you tell ChatGPT, remember that I like concise responses, it will remember that. It will remember that you don't want too much to read when it's answering anything. So this is really helpful when you write a blog post like this one. I always write out my blog posts in full with all the points that I want to make. But something that's really helpful for me is that I like to get feedback on my blog posts so that I can edit them more quickly. So I'll just dump that in here and we'll see the results. And the feedback's just really helpful because it will just tell you quickly, look, this is what's missing, or this was what will beef it up a little bit more, and get it to your standard of liking before you decide to publish it. So what's working well and suggestions for improvement. Now, the problem comes when it offers to rewrite the article for you, redraft it to update to include these things. Essentially, it always rewrites it. It doesn't change the integrity of the article, but it does kind of start it again and rewrite it. And that's when the style of your article goes away and it starts to sound a little bit more chat GPT-ish. So if we go here and say redraft the article, you'll see exactly what I mean. It will have things in there. The one that I always hate the most is when there are dot points in your article that I've specifically spelled out. I prefer there to be a colon rather than a hyphen. And you can see this is already responding to a prompt I made earlier, asking it to remember I prefer a colon rather than a hyphen. It's the hyphen that makes it seem chat GPT-ish and like you didn't necessarily write it. And I feel like this post is a reflection of me, so I would rather it just look like I wrote it. So with that, what you can then do is recognize that it's going to follow your style guides when it updates your articles for you. This is very helpful in automation rules with no code automation. So this is a make.com automation I set up earlier where I obtained, news information, topics from the news, and I was able to prompt it to write a post that's relevant for me to actually draft later. So I'm putting it in the draft section so I can, edit it a bit so that it's Melissa reflective. It's not a straight up chat GPT, summary. But what I've also been able to do as a result of this update is whenever it does actually generate a post for me, you can see here, this is the string with the output for this particular one. It started to write an entire blog post for me with the formatting. This will now reflect those style, tone, and structure guidelines automatically whenever it references ChatGPT. So it's just that one step closer to reducing that editing time and making sure that your article is a reflection of the way that you like to write, the way that you like to speak, and the brand that you're trying to build for your blog as well. So if I run this particular automation, what we'll actually see is that this will post a draft into WordPress. It's also generating an image to go with it as well. And once it's finished running, it will take a minute or two. I've been working on this one quite a lot today. But what you will actually find is that I'll go to the draft section of my my WordPress, and I'll go to my article. And when it generates the blog post that I want to edit and then publish, it will actually follow those style guidelines because I've used ChatGPT as the source AI in my automation. So this is a way in which you can just make sure that your personality is reflected